Gino Aragon here, and once again, we have got a very special guest. I am very proud and very appreciative of the fact that we can get Mike Santana in, your TNA World Champion. Mike, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
No, thanks for giving me a little bit of time. I know that you got some crazy stuff going on for the past couple of days. Everybody wants to get a little piece of the champion. You know what I mean?
That's how it is, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, first off, speaking of your championship, man, I got to tell you, Bound for Glory was absolutely amazing. I talked a little bit with Nick the other day. You know, top to bottom, that card was awesome.
Yeah.
But you especially, I mean, the moment that you had there, and I just have to ask you a couple of questions about that. First off, you know that you're going for the championship. You know, you and Trick, and you tore it up that night. But what happened before you got a whole lot of people a little teary-eyed, and you're thinking to yourself, you know, did you have any thoughts about, man, how are we going to top all of that?
That was definitely at the back of my mind, man, because of course, you know, you had 4 guys who have given so much of themselves for generations, right? Like there's generations of fans. They've wrestled in 4 decades, 4 different decades of pro wrestling, man. The Hardys and the Dudleys. But I knew and I was confident in the story that Trick and I have told throughout the few months, and just my personal journey of getting to the main event. You know, I was confident in the sense of, like, we know the work that we've put in to get here, and the people were invested. We were in the main event for a reason. You know what I mean? And I'm thankful that, you know, we kept everyone engaged, and from bell to bell, that crowd was live, and they were they were rocking. So we were thankful in that regard, and man, like you said, had a beautiful moment, and I think it's one that's gonna live forever. At least for me, it is.
Definitely one of the best matches that I've seen, you know, this year. And I will say this right here: you get to that moment. Nick and I talked a little bit about this last time. The art of wrestling, the fact of pulling out those emotions from people. And there are times, you know, when I watch some shows, and I've shed a little bit of a tear every now and then. But between, you know, like you said, the Hardys and Team 3D, and then at the end of the night, when you bring your daughter into that ring and you hand her the championship belt, I mean, I don't think there was a dry eye anywhere that was going on or wasn't cheering for you. And I know that there's a very big and deep emotional story about that moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, I've said it before. My daughter saved my life. She was the reason why I was able to get to the main event, and she's been my biggest supporter, my biggest advocate, and my biggest motivation, you know. And the fact that I was able to have that moment with her after the match, it was me just saying a big thank you to her. And I was thankful that I got to share that moment with her and the rest of the world, you know, because I've been, as you know, I've been very open about my story and what I've been through and the things that got me to where I'm at. And that was a true culmination. But to be honest, like, now the work really starts.
Yeah.
Now I'm just getting started, you know, and it's a beautiful thing, and I can't wait for what the future holds. And I had an amazing journey to get to the world title, and it's going to be an amazing journey holding on to the world title.
No, absolutely. And keep on that journey. Keep up the good work, because, you know, I know a little bit of experience about all those things. And, you know, it's still a one day at a time thing. But right now, you know, you keep it going, man. I'll be rooting for you all the way. But, you know, speaking of that journey, of course, one of the reasons that we get the opportunity to talk to you is the fact that we have got TNA coming back for not just one day back in El Paso, not 2, but 3 days, including Final Resolution in there. You know, we're not quite sure what's going to happen on that day. I know you might be looking behind you because, you know, Nick and Frankie get to call their shot. I don't know what might be going on, but you got to be looking forward to that and getting back into El Paso.
Absolutely. I mean, the last time we were here back in March, it was a very special time. And like you know, the fans here in El Paso, they know their wrestling, and pro
Hmm.
wrestling is so deeply rooted in the history of the city. So the fact that we came through and the fans came out in full force, you know, and we sold out both nights, and
Yep.
they were loud and rowdy, and that's why it allowed us to come back this time for 3 nights. And
For 3 nights. Yeah.
yeah, and let's make it happen again, and give them, you know, what they deserve.
Yeah. And, speaking of coming out, you got to talk a little bit about your entrance back then, too.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it was a huge deal for me. I said it from the beginning. I was like, "There's no way that I'm going to come to El Paso and not pay my respects to Eddie and the
Hmm.
Guerrero family." That's a rite of passage. You know what I mean? And the fact that I got to do that was very special to me. And this time around, I'll just leave it at
You
that.
know,
This time around,
all
it's
I
going to be
all
even
I
special.
heard rumors, I heard some talk about some of the things that you might do.
Yeah,
And as somebody who was in that audience in El Paso, not just for the shows, but when you guys were there, but I was in that audience at the SmackDown taping where Eddie came in
oh
with the
wow,
title that he had just won, and he pulled up in that lowrider, and he was sitting there, and the crowd was going nuts, and we were chanting, and he's talking,
yeah,
everything about just riding around and being from there, and it was quite an emotional moment, and
absolutely.
there are those moments that you have, and like I said, I heard rumors. I heard you guys got some plans. You can't let us in on anything right now.
No, not at all. I like to keep everything a surprise, and I'm sure I'll just say that the fans are going to be very pleased. And again, I'm very proud of my Latino roots, and I'm going to pay my respects the only way that I know how.
Absolutely, and I am looking forward to that and seeing what is going to come up from that interest, and actually the whole show. Like
Yeah,
I said, you guys got 3 nights. Final Resolution. You've got the TV tapings that are coming up for 2 days.
yep, yep.
All of the in fact, tickets are available. They went on sale today for everybody, so they
Yeah,
can
they
go ahead and
did.
pick up
They
their
did.
ticket. Yeah,
Yeah, man,
and
it's awesome, and I hope everyone grabs them because, again, they're gonna go quick, man. Like El Paso is gonna come out strong, and I feel that truly. And um, as you know, like TNA is hotter than it's ever been right now, and everyone is striving to put out the very best, and we're giving our heart and soul every time we're in front of those cameras. So I'm
oh
really
no,
looking forward to it.
absolutely. I said I when I had the opportunity to speak with Nick the other day, I said from top to bottom, man, the roster is on point from
Yeah,
the knockouts, to all the champions yourself. Everybody is just going at it, and I'd say it's some of the best years that, or the last year is in particular that TNA has had
yeah.
in a long time. And I go back old school to like when I was buying them on pay per view every week.
Hell
When they
yeah,
first
hell
started.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
man.
it's
Everybody is hungry. Everybody has the same mindset. They want to continue growing this, and they want to, like put out the very best. And it's an awesome locker room. Just that energy in itself, right? Like it's everyone is pushing to be the best, and I think you can't ask for anything better.
okay. Cool. Well, I know you got things to do and more important people to talk to than just me. But I was wondering, later on next week, we're starting a little contest, a little something new feature on my morning show.
Uh
And I
huh.
was wondering if you had about a minute to maybe have a little bit of fun and play a little game with me right now.
Right now, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. Basically, this is what it is. We're giving our listeners a chance to win some cash, and
Mhm.
all they got to do is within the space of a minute answer 9 general basic trivia questions. It's our minute to win it. I'll put the timer up here in a second, and I did this with Nick. He didn't get it, so
Oh
we'll
man,
see. We'll see what happens here. Okay.
this is tough.
So got my questions right here, and when I pull up the timer, we'll see if we can go ahead and see if Mike Santana can, beat our minute to win it. You
All
ready?
right, let's
All
go.
right. I'll start the timer when I ask the first question, and the first question is fill in the blank. Jack and Jill went up the hill to.
Fetch a pile of water.
Yep, you got that one. What material are jeans made out of?
Denim.
In which state can you find the San Andreas Fault?
The San Andreas Fault is in California.
Yep. How long is a yardstick?
A yard.
You know what? I knew somebody would say that, so I'm going to go ahead and give that to you. What
Oh,
were the
man,
first
okay.
names of the Wright brothers?
The first name of
The
who?
Wright brothers, the guys that flew the first airplane, the Wright brothers.
Man, I don't know that one.
You can skip it. We'll skip that one. How many holes does a standard golf course have?
Is it 60?
18. Sorry.
18.
And I'll give you the last question. One of the other questions. Who invented the Muppets?
The Muppets? I do not know.
Jim Henson. My
Jim
hero,
Henson,
man.
okay.
My hero right there. I'm a big Muppets fan. Okay, and this would have been the final question. I'm going to give you the same final question I gave Nick.
Okay.
What is the name of the pay-per-view that is coming in December to El Paso, Texas?
TNA Final Resolution.
You got it right there, man. Thanks a lot, Mike, for taking a little bit of time and hanging out with us. Good luck in the future. Like I said, keep walking that road. And congratulations on being the TNA champion. And once again, I appreciate your time.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And I'll see everybody back in December.
All right.